Interview with the Vampire, 1994, is a gothic horror film directed by Neil Jordan based on Anne Rice's best-selling novel. It centers on the life of Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, a vampire, as he recounts his centuries-long existence to a modern-day journalist, played by Christian Slater. As Louis tells his story, we dive deep into the sorrowful and tragic experiences he has as an immortal, focusing on his relationships with other vampires, particularly the enigmatic and seductive Lestat and a young girl named Claudia, who is turned into a vampire at a very young age. The film opens with Louis, who became a vampire in the 18th century, narrating his story to a journalist. Louis's transformation into a vampire comes after the death of his wife and child. Lestat, played by Tom Cruise, the vampire who turns him, is charismatic, manipulative, and dangerous, in stark contrast to Louis's more reluctant and tormented nature. Their dynamic is central to the movie, with Lestat constantly pushing Louis to embrace the vampire lifestyle, while Louis is tormented by his conscience. The theme of immortality and the curse of living forever is explored heavily in Interview with the Vampire. It presents immortality as both a gift and a curse, something that offers endless experience, but comes with unbearable loneliness, guilt, and the loss of humanity. The character of Louis, in particular, struggles with the idea of feeding on human blood and the moral consequences of his actions. In contrast, Lestat revels in the power and freedom that comes with being a vampire. The introduction of Claudia, played by Kirsten Dunst, a girl who is turned into a vampire and forced to live in a child's body forever, adds another layer to the film's exploration of immortality. Her character is a poignant and tragic figure, trapped in a child's body with the mind and emotions of an adult. Over the course of the movie, Claudia becomes more resentful of her condition and her dependence on Lestat and Louis for survival. Kirsten Dunst's performance as Claudia is nothing short of remarkable, especially considering her young age at the time. Brad Pitt, who plays Louis, delivers a nuanced performance that captures the character's internal struggle. He expertly portrays the tortured soul who is both repelled and fascinated by his condition. His role in Interview with the Vampire cemented his place as one of Hollywood's leading men. Tom Cruise, on the other hand, completely transforms himself into the charismatic and unpredictable Lestat. His performance is one of the film's highlights, offering a sense of danger and excitement that contrasts with the brooding melancholy of Louis. Cruise's portrayal was somewhat controversial at the time, as he was not initially seen as a natural fit for the role, but he ultimately delivered a standout performance. Kirsten Dunst's career was also greatly influenced by her performance in Interview with the Vampire, which led to her breakthrough roles in movies like Jumanji, 1995, and Bring It On, 2000. Her portrayal of Claudia remains one of her most memorable performances to this day. The themes of Interview with the Vampire are deeply rooted in ideas of mortality, loneliness, the struggle between good and evil, and the complexities of immortality. The film does not glorify being a vampire, but rather paints it as a cursed existence, filled with an endless search for meaning and purpose. The movie explores the emotional and psychological toll of immortality and how different characters cope with the burden in various ways. Louis' internal battle contrasts with Lestat's carefree and often destructive approach to their condition. And Claudia's torment creates a fascinating dynamic of emotional pain throughout the film. Similar to other vampire films of the era, such as Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, Interview with the Vampire blends gothic horror with deep psychological themes. It shares with Dracula an exploration of the sensuality and danger associated with vampires, but it takes a more introspective approach, focusing on the emotional and philosophical side of immortality. In terms of visuals, Interview with the Vampire has a rich, atmospheric aesthetic. The film is bathed in dark hues and lavish period costumes, which enhance the gothic and melancholic atmosphere. The use of lighting and shadow is effective in creating a sense of timelessness, and the movie's use of location, such as the decadence of New Orleans, further emphasizes the dark allure of the vampire world. Interview with the Vampire is notable for being one of the early films to bring Anne Rice's works to the screen, and it stands out as a vampire movie that is more philosophical than typical horror fare. The film focuses not just on blood-sucking and violence, but also on the emotional consequences of living forever. It's a tragic, beautifully shot film with an unforgettable cast and a timeless story.